Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua held an electric interview with NTV at his home. And from this interview, there are so many things someone could borrow to analyze. But there's one thing that caught my attention. The warning that he gave the CDF and the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja.
I don't want to advise General Khariri, but I having worked with the President William Ruto, I want to tell him to be very careful. I saw the way IG Jafet Koome was set up by President William Ruto during the Gen Z protest. He set him up, go and say this, go and say that, go and say this. And then when there was too much pressure, he called him in my presence and asked him to resign. Probably the general has been told, go and say this so that there is public backlash, and probably prepare a way for his exit. I am not sure, but let him be careful, because I know President William Ruto. IG Kanja spoke in Kikuyu in Nyeri, asking people whether they are happy that the president has come. Douglas Kanja was tricked by Mr. Yesa to come on top of the vehicle and speak so that they can set him up for public backlash, so that if they want to exit him, they have somewhere to start. That's the way they did to Jafet Koome. I want to ask IG Kanja, I want to ask General Khariri, be careful. The president has been a purge of people from our region. Probably you are being set up, and you be careful. Be very measured in what you say. Remain very professional. Please don't allow the president, don't give him an opportunity to find a reason to exit the two of you, because I know him and I know what he's up to. I have seen the way he's going, the people. And since now there is nobody to defend, because his assistant has confirmed publicly that he has confirmed publicly, so he cannot fight for the mountain people. The president will do whatever he wants. So General Khariri, IG Kanja, please be careful. Don't set yourself up for slaughter, because I can see when I look at the public outrage, probably the president has just tricked you to make some funny comments so that he sets you up for slaughter. You know, just the way he had told me to talk about the shareholding, he set me up and then used the whole thing to exit me.
So he told you to talk about
it? Yeah, he's what?
In this warning, it was simply related to how William Ruto deals with the people he does not want around him, either by virtue of being political enemies or antagonists, or maybe not just comfortable being around you, or maybe wants to do something and he wants to get rid of someone. He exposed seriously that William Ruto never puts his efforts where he does not benefit. He is a commercial president. He only has commercial benefits on every effort that he makes. So therefore, if you are in that place and it feels like you're going to mess up with these operations, you'll go home. Now, what does William Ruto do? Number one, William Ruto puts you in an environment where you and the public are not in good terms. So whenever he decides to execute you or to get rid of you, you realize that the public does not care. So he creates that environment. He does it in two ways. One, either through an assignment that will be able to put you in a certain bad relationship between you and the public, or he gives you a test and then he calls you maybe incompetent or something. There are only two people who've been able to escape William Ruto's trap. But before I take you through, please, if this is the first time you're watching my videos, can you make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment? That's the best support you can always give me, because you realize that when you subscribe, you watch my videos, and then drop a comment there, my YouTube channel gets to grow. And that is the best support you can always give me here. Thank you so much. May God bless you for doing so. The only two people who have been able to escape, it is Rigathi Gachagua and Martha Koome. Unfortunately or fortunately, Martha Koome was saved by Rigathi Gachagua. Let me tell you how Rigathi Gachagua escaped. Rigathi Gachagua, immediately President William Ruto came into power, he put Rigathi Gachagua to be in charge of Nairobi River, I think, demolitions and stuff, and some things to do with coffee, milk in the central region. In all these occasions, actually even the ones with dealing with alcohol, in all these occasions, Rigathi Gachagua was very smart. On demolitions, he asked himself, if I demolish here, the people at the grassroots are going to hate me because I have taken charge of demolitions for the poor people. And this is one of the things, as a whole, when we came into government, we condemned and said we'll never do. So Rigathi Gachagua kept off and refused completely to engage in the issues to do with Nairobi River demolitions at all. At all. Even the issues with the coffee. Rigathi Gachagua was set up. He fails and then he be condemned because he shall have been taken to be an enemy of the people of Mount Kenya. But unfortunately, Rigathi Gachagua maneuvered. How did Martha Koome escape? Martha Koome, first, cases of government were mysteriously going through the Supreme Court. A case goes to the lower court, Court of Appeal, High Court, even lower courts, magistrate courts. Then some anomalies are realized. Then the judges and magistrates say this is not illegal, this is unconstitutional. But upon reaching the Supreme Court, you realize that the case just simply goes through. Or upon reaching a certain tribunal created by Martha Koome, you realize suddenly that the cases just go through. As a result, the public was against President William Ruto and Martha Koome as well, because Martha Koome was now assumed to be used by President William Ruto to pass some legislations. Even when there was a problem, Martha Koome went to where? State House. And people saw it like it was just an attempt, maybe there was some buying and selling of someone. Someone literally got bought and now they were working as one. And actually, in State House, after State House visit, that's when the cases started going through. So, upon the assessment, William to realize that the public is against Martha Koome, and then IS could give that information. So, it was time for them to go ahead with impeachment. Fortunately, Rigathi Gachagua saw it from a distance. He went actually to Meru and said, if Martha Koome is impeached, William Ruto should not stop here at Meru.
So, hii watu ya mlima walikupenda, walikupatia kura, uliwadanganya na Biblia. Umeamua kumaliza watoto wote kutoka mlima. Kiongozi yeyote ambaye ako na msimamo, umetupangia jama ya kutufukuza katika serikali katika Kenya. Na anataka akifukuza hii watu, amalize biashara zote za watu ya mlima Kenya. Lakini mimi nakuambia rais, ukifukuza Martha Koome, usikanyange hapa Meru. Mimi nataka nikuambie, ulifukuza Rigathi Gachagua, watu ya mlima wakanyamaza. Ukafikiria ni waoga. Tunakuambia rais, wewe panga jama, ufukuze Martha Koome, na wewe ukae Nairobi, usikanyange hapa Meru tena ukifukuza Martha Koome.
And that's how the issue to do with the impeachment of Martha Koome went down. So when Rigathi Gachagua is warning Douglas Kanja and the CADF General Khariri, it is from a point of knowledge and experience. As if that is not enough. Remember that after the elections in Bomas of Kenya, none other than Jafet Koome was in charge of the police officers who were there. And he was praised seriously by President William Ruto for taking charge of that situation, controlling and ensuring that there was law, there's calm and order at Bomas of Kenya for the announcement of results. William Ruto seriously praised him and the other team members who were there. Now the Gen Z protests came. And what happened? Jafet Koome gave stern warnings right, left and center against the public. Calling Gen Z's criminals. If you are found in the streets, police will even shoot to kill, will deal with you as a criminal. So many sentiments that were not fair to the common man, to the youths of this country, to be specific. So you realize that Kenyans got killed in the streets and Jafet Koome was demanded to resign and actually left. He left. I later on realized that Jafet Koome was a close associate of Rigathi Gachagua. And to some extent, informing Gachagua here and there one or two things was also a big problem to William Ruto. So he wanted Jafet Koome out of that place. Secondly, you realize that Rigathi Gachagua was blaming the NIS for not giving adequate information to the police officers to prepare themselves adequately. Who told Rigathi Gachagua that they did not receive adequate information? Definitely we all know. So, in a nutshell, William Ruto did not want this gentleman in office. And when he found the ideal moment to get rid of Jafet Koome, he did so. by ensuring that he had resigned. Actually called him according to Rigathi Gachagua while they were together to tell him that you're incompetent and you're leaving the job immediately. And that's how it happened. Nobody complained because of the involvement of Jafet Koome after being set up. Also, Rigathi Gachagua was set up. He escaped the first time, but the second time he was set up. Rigathi Gachagua, according to him, he became adamant to President William Ruto. And William Ruto was uncomfortable about it. So the time came to get rid of him. I just learned yesterday from Rigathi Gachagua that it was just 2 months after elections, they had issues with President William Ruto. So therefore, the deal to get Rigathi Gachagua out of office started a long time ago, back in 2022. So William Ruto and his team set up Rigathi Gachagua to speak some words, make some sentiments that do not augur well the rest of Kenyans. One of them, it was the issue to do with shares. The issue of shares literally did not augur well most of the Kenyans. And as a result, people started developing a negative attitude towards Rigathi Gachagua. Number two, it was the issue of parties, where leaders like Moses Kuria and other leaders from the mountain region suggested for them to have one party, but Rigathi Gachagua refused. So upon refusing, there was an enmity between him and the leaders. Thirdly, Rigathi Gachagua felt very powerful. So as a result, he could use his powers the way he wanted to. And he was given the freedom by President William Ruto. I remember when they were passing the finance bill 2023, he said that it was to be passed without even touching a comma, against the Kenyan wishes. The other thing that it happened, it's the fact that Rigathi Gachagua, literally, he was even given some money to do what you call the renovation of his residence at Karen. There was some embezzlement according to William Ruto and his men, but the fact remains that Rigathi Gachagua escaped that. So there was setups here and there. Now when the time came to remove Rigathi Gachagua, William Ruto simply used what you call the issue of tribalism, which included the shares stuff. And that's how he found it easy for him to get rid of Rigathi Gachagua. If you remember, when Rigathi Gachagua was removed from office, there was no complaint from the rest of Kenya, except people from Mount Kenya who talked about it and asked that, why is it that you are removing Rigathi Gachagua, yet you, when you were disturbing Uhuru Kenyatta, nobody bothered to remove you from power? So in a nutshell, that happened. And that's how Rigathi Gachagua was trapped. So when Rigathi Gachagua is warning these two gentlemen, that is the CDF and Douglas Kanja, it's out of knowledge that if they don't do the right thing, they're likely going to face the same consequences, just like him, Rigathi Gachagua himself, and many other leaders like Justin Muturi, and many others who have been removed from William Ruto's government unceremoniously. I don't know what is your take, but let me see in the comment section what you think about Rigathi Gachagua's big warning. See you next time for more videos. For those who've been supporting my channel, thank you so much. May God bless you. Please keep supporting, because that's how we get to grow. For those who comment on the comment section, I get to learn a lot from you guys. Please keep on commenting, because that's how I also get to learn more about what is happening across the country. See you next time for more videos.